Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestling Debate and to another edition of Raw out of 10. Raw just kind of progressing along nicely now. It's only a few weeks to go until live crowds are back and of course Money in the Bank, so I think we're just kind of slowly building up to that at the moment. But Raw's one, you could argue it was the best in a few weeks last month, so let's see what happens this week. We learned from Randy Orton that he could not make Raw tonight, so he wouldn't be in a triple threat qualifying match. Instead, Raw kicked off with a battle royal that would decide his replacement. Riddle walked out to Pierce and Deville backstage before the match and said he had a letter from Randy. The letter was written in green marker and it stated Riddle should take his place in a triple threat tonight on Randy's behalf. Pierce, Deville and the rest of the WWE Universe did not doubt the letter was written by Riddle himself, especially as there was a little snake where the signature should have been. Adam and Sonya said they couldn't add Riddle straight away, but they could add him to the Battle Royal, which got underway immediately after. Drew Gulak was the first to be eliminated by Benjamin, before Benjamin was out there by Garza, who was dropped from the ring, but he managed to keep one foot on the floor, hoping to get back in the ring. However, Ali and Mansoor managed to team up before Ali turned on Mansoor and eliminated him. Jinder Mahal nearly eliminated Riddle before R-Truth and Tozawa were tossed out of the ring. Drew Gulak pinned Tozawa outside the ring for the 24/7 title. Truth immediately picked it back up before Tozawa won it back because the 24/7 title now suddenly exists again. And then Omos came out and dragged the Viking Raiders over the ring before Jinder Mahal was the next to be eliminated, and only Hardy, Alexander, Priest and Riddle remained. Cedric eliminated Hardy before Damian Priest took Alexander out. Riddle and Priest were left in the ring with when the two hit each other with their finishes before Priest was caught on the apron with a huge knee strike, allowing Riddle to get the win. After the match, Riddle asked for Randy's music to be played. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. This was a decent match. Few surprises in here. Good to see Damian Priest back, but the right result, and we'll obviously see what happens in the main event later. Stage on Raw, AJ Styles said that he was not happy about the triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match tonight and wished it was a one-on-one between him and McIntyre before we got Nikki Cross versus Shayna Baszler. Baszler got the first takedown of the match and hit a few big surprises before sending her into the corner. Cross returned with a drop kick, sending Baszler outside before Alexa Bliss showed up at ringside. Cross hit a crossbody on Jax Baszler and Reginald following the distraction on Raw. Back in the ring, Cross hit a huge top rope move before Alexa used her powers to remove Reggie and Jax. Baszler was distracted in the ring and barely escaped a roll up. Cross went for a second roll up off the counter and picked up the win. 5 out of 10. I don't really know what to say except for this was utterly awful and I just feel dreadful for Shayna Baszler. That's all I really can say, really. Before Kofi Kingston was soon back in the ring, and he was saying that he watched Lashley and MVP beat up Woods inside Hell in a Cell last week and it changed him. He said he was set to beat Lashley at Money in the Bank before the WWE title before MVP walked out. MVP mocked him and said that Kofi was no threat to Lashley and that the WWE champ was liking every moment of beating Woods up. Kofi said Lashley might be getting soft and talked about MVP having to save him in the last championship matches. The two yelled at each other, mocking each other's accomplishments before Kofi said Woods would be back next week. MVP said he wouldn't beat Kofi up as he was injured, but Kofi ran down and hit him with a Trouble in Paradise. Just kind of the usual promo building up to a title match at a pay-per-view in a few weeks' time, really. It was Asuka and Naomi versus Eva Marie and Piper Niven, or whatever she's been called now, Doudrop or something like that. Naomi and Niven started the match off, and the latter hit the sit-down splash on Naomi, but missed the senton. Asuka hit a chokehold submission, locked in on Doudrop, and she was struggling as she went for the tag, but Eva stepped off the apron just like Niven did last week. Niven then managed to recover and take both Naomi and Asuka out, securing the win despite Eva's action, and after the match, Eva declared herself as a winner. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. This is kind of just getting a bit repetitive now, and we've only had 3 weeks in it, which is slightly concerning. Kind of just mix it up, please. But anyway, next up we got Ricochet versus John Morrison. Ricochet was dominating off the bat and sent Morrison out of the ring. Miz blocked a shot from Ricochet, who hit a Hurricane Rana over the A-lister's wheelchair, before spraying him one more time with a Drick Stick. Back after a break, Morrison hit a rolling senton and getting near fall before going for a huge springboard kick. Ricochet countered to Starship Pain and went for a dive off Morrison off the barricade. However, both men failed to get back in the ring, and it was a double count out. This was a massive waste of time. Really didn't see the point in this, to be honest. I've got to give it a 5 out of 10 because there there was just literally nothing here for us to get excited, and it just ended in the usual WWE way of disqualification or count out. But anyway, next up we got Charlotte, Tamina and Natalia versus Rhea Ripley, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Ripley and Charlotte started brawling as soon as the match kicked out. Team Ripley managed to knock the others out of the ring before we headed for commercials. Back on Raw, Natalia was in the ring with Brooke before Charlotte tagged in and isolated Brooke with the help of her team. Ripley and Charlotte were in, and Flair managed to counter the Raw Women's Champion before tagging in Natty. Rose tagged in and hit a sunset flip on Natalia before Charlotte sneaked in, hit the big boot for the win. Ripley hit a chop block on Flair after the match and walked out. 5 out of 10. Who the heck was the babyfaces here, and who the heck cares? This feud was just awful. But anyway, next time we got Elias versus Jackson Riker in a strap match. Speaking of awful feuds, the match went outside right away, and Elias sent Riker into the steel steps before using the ring post to the advantage. Riker broke free before whipping him with the strap. Elias got a big knee strike before Riker hit him with a massive Irish whip. He whipped Elias into the strap a few more times before getting the clothesline in. Riker hit the boss man stand, picking up the win rather quickly. 4 out of 10. I just don't give a stuff, and I just hate Jackson Riker. He's not a babyface, guys. But yeah, anyway, Riddle was backstage on Raw wearing Randy's jumper and acted like him before Damian Priest made him break character for a moment. That's when the Triple Threat title match started. Drew went after Riddle and AJ right off the bat and took both men down. The former WWE champ was dominating and tossing Riddle and AJ across the ring in belly-to-belly suplexes. McIntyre cleared the announce desk but failed to put AJ through it. Styles blocked another suplex on the announce desk before McIntyre took Riddle out. AJ and Riddle teamed up and put Drew through the announce table. Back after a break on Raw, AJ and Riddle were battling in the ring, and Riddle broke out of the calf crusher. Riddle set up for the RKO, but AJ nearly took him out before he could hit it. McIntyre came back in and sent AJ into the barricade, getting a reverse Alabama slam on Riddle to gain control. However, Riddle did manage to toss Drew outside of the ring before hitting kicks to his face as Raw went on. Riddle hit a springboard dive to the outside before taking both Styles and Drew out and went for a kick but got sent straight into the steel sets after AJ got out of the way. Riddle was injured and had to be escorted to the outside. After the break, AJ and Drew were in the ring and Styles was taking a beating once more. Drew got near fall before AJ got a calf crusher. Riddle limped back in and went for the bro mission and hit AJ with an RKO, but Omos dragged Styles out of the win, allowing McIntyre to hit the Claymore for the win. 7 out of 10. This was actually a good match and the right result. Overall, this week gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Yeah, the main event was good. The Battle Royal was alright, except for that it was just back to your typical boring Raw. Just not a lot going on. Not very interesting. So on the whole, yeah, I just can't give it a more than a 5 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description below for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.